How you doing, everyone? Welcome to this episode of the Cajun Conservative Show. I'm your host, Isaac Hayes, talking about life, talking about liberty, and talking about the pursuit of happiness and showing the world that Cajuns do have intelligence. Hope you're having a good day, good week, wherever you're located in this great country of ours. I was not here yesterday. I simply overslept. And sometimes life is hard. Life is hard, and you got to get that couple of minutes of beauty sleep that you crave. And I am blessed to be alive, and I'm blessed to be here today. Got a lot going on this week, and I'm hoping that I can cover some of the stories I really want to cover. I know today, I think the Congress is going to be taking up the TikTok ban bill. And I got some views on that. I might deal with that tomorrow if that happens. Today, we will see what goes on because with this TikTok bill, and we are on social media. While I'm recording this podcast episode, I am on TikTok. I'm doing a TikTok live. If you're watching on TikTok right now, you can go ahead and comment. I will try to get to them before I have to go to work today. But on that note, I am against the TikTok bill. Now, a lot of you conservatives might say, wait, what? Join me tomorrow. I'm going to try to address that tomorrow because I think that is a mistake that Congress is doing, especially on the conservative side, because TikTok is one of the platforms that we can really freely voice our opinion. If you're a conservative, even on that, the Democrats, look, I'm not against Democrats going on TikTok and voicing their opinion. I'm not. I have the liberal trucker that's a good friend of mine. I subscribe to his channel. You have the happy liberal that I watch on this channel on the TikTok every so often. I'm not against people voicing their opinion, but I am. But at the same time, I understand the concerns that they have for Congress, but you know, they're worried about TikTok. And like I said, I'm going to dive more into it tomorrow. But they're worried about TikTok, but Facebook, YouTube, they all do the same thing. They all collect data to see what you like. And I understand, like I said, I understand the concerns of the Congress. I will dive into that more tomorrow. I think that's a big topic. But today I want to talk about the Robert Hur hearing that happened on Capitol Hill. Robert Hur stood in front of Congress for 5 hours yesterday. And this was a big story. And they had, this whole special counsel thing. I thought it was a double standard from the get-go. Okay, because if you look at Jack Smith and Robert Hur's budget, just that alone says a lot about this wasn't a bipartisan issue. Robert Hur had a few $1 million to play with. He was restricted. He couldn't look at certain things, and all this stuff. He was restricted. All he could look at was the documents. With Jack Smith's investigation for Donald Trump and all the indictments he brought, Jack Smith he could look under every rock. Look behind every alley. This was a partisan situation. And the Democrats yesterday was trying to prove that Robert Hur was trying to help Donald Trump. And we're going to dive into that a little later on, but he just didn't get heat from the Democrat Party. He also got heat from a lot of Republicans as well, one being Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz was trying to prove that you should have indicted Joe Biden. Now, Joe Biden is a sitting president. So it would have been hard to indict a sitting president. Look, it was unprecedented to indict a former sitting president, but a former president, but you have, to indict a sitting president is hard to do. And I brought out this point with Robert Hur because the Democrats are like, well, Robert Hur didn't find nothing wrong, but he was asked a question by a Democrat congressperson and said the congresswoman told him that he exonerated Joe Biden, and he came back and said, I did not exonerate him. But the Democrats are saying, well, Robert Hur cleared Joe Biden of any wrongdoing. Well, if you got to realize something. Robert Hur is a Republican. He said it in the in the hearing yesterday that I am a Republican. Now, Republicans tend to do things more traditional. They tend to do things that are more right than the Democrat Party, in my opinion. And he knew that, look, this is what happened with President Biden, according to the report, because the transcript leaked out the day before as well. And it didn't look good for the Biden administration. Biden said that he remembered everything. There was nothing wrong. And the transcript shows that Biden did not. He did not tell the truth about it. Now, but again, Robert Hur's a Republican, and he knows it's wrong to go after a president like that, especially with the documents, because presidents before Donald Trump were never indicted, and they took documents home. Biden had more of a, why did Biden take the documents? Because he was vice president. He had some things he wasn't supposed to have. But anyway, and Robert Hur said, we're not going to charge him for that. We don't think that's a criminal problem. On the Democrat side, Jack Smith was partisan. Hey, look, I'm going to find, he was like, I'm going to find something. I'm going to find something on Donald Trump. And he threw 2 indictments at him. And it's equivalent of 91 charges, if I'm not mistaken. 91 to 94 charges. My memory isn't the best this morning, but going back to that, there was some issues with ghostwriters, and Gaze asked Hur some questions about why wasn't Biden, why didn't he charge Biden, and it's a double standard. Now, Hur couldn't finish his conversation with Gaze, and this is the problem I have with both sides of the aisle. And so thank you to the person that commented. Is 91 for all 4. Thank you. I couldn't remember if it was 4 or just the state. And this is the TikTok live audience that I'm talking to. But this is what I have a problem with Congress, with both sides of the aisle. That they ask a question, and they don't, the person that they ask is trying to give them an answer. And this happens on both sides. I'm not piggybacking on just Democrats doing this. Everybody does it. The Republican side and the Democrat side. They don't let the people answer. And I understand you have a short window to ask as many questions as possible. You have a short, you have to try to get all your answers and try to improve your point. Try to get a soundbite, because I agree with Dan Bongino on that. Everything in the political world is about a soundbite and the picture. And this is how I'm just saying this bothers me, that you don't let him answer the question. And Hurd was trying to answer Gage's question, and Gage just kept on answering, and it was a back and forth. Like Gage asked, before he could explain the question, he was asked about ghostwriters. Gaze stopped him and said, look, what does someone have to do to get charged with obstruction of justice by you? Gaze asked, if deleting the evidence of a crime doesn't count, what would meet the standard? And Hurd answered that the ghostwriters did not delete certain parts of the evidence, which includes transcripts. Okay, so Gaze is asking, well, what does it take to charge somebody in this system? What it takes to charge somebody with? Let the man finish answering the question. There was maybe a reason why he didn't do it. Democrats got on Hurd a lot yesterday as well, because they were trying to prove that the president could remember, which clearly it was not, according to the transcript that was released the day before. And we don't know who released this transcript, but this transcript was the release of Biden's deposition, and Hurd was correct how the president didn't remember his son's death date. He didn't remember certain things that was asked of him, and the president was like, well, Hurd shouldn't have never brought up my son. According to the transcript, the president brought it up. Hurd didn't even bring it up. Hurd was asking something totally different, and the president went off on a wild goose chase. And the Democrats are trying to say, well, look, he's competent. He knows what he's talking about. He's fit to serve office. And one was even, look at the State of the Union. The State of the Union's had his bubbles too. And Biden, I saw a TikTok video, and you can go find it. They went ahead and they just repeated things they've been saying for the last 3 State of the Unions. And it was just a rebuttal of what Biden's been trying to do for the last 3 years. Ladies and gentlemen, if he's repeating things he hasn't done in 3 years, he needs to pass the torch to somebody else, because he's not getting nothing done in Washington, D.C. The president is supposed to be a leader. The president is supposed to get things done, and President Biden is not doing it. But the Democrats use, for example, the State of the Union, how he was articulate and he knew what to do. And okay, you can have that argument. But the Democrats were trying to say that Robert Hur was trying to smear the good president's name, and that he's a Republican, that he's a MAGA person, he's this. And Robert Hur defended himself. Robert Hur says, look, partisanship did not influence me whatsoever in this case. Now, you got to take his word for it, but like I said, you have a Republican special counsel, and it goes to the same thing with Jack Smith. Jack Smith is proven that he does not like Donald Trump. So you have to ask the question, did partisanship play a role in this? We don't know. We just have to take Robert Hur at his word. But they accused him of trying to help reelect Donald Trump, and the Democrats were doing whatever they could to defend Joe Biden. And look, the media was the same way. The media yesterday was the same way. They were trying to make it as if Robert Hur is this big MAGA person, that he's a Republican. He shouldn't have been in charge of this. Now, on this point, a while back, they were praising Robert Hur. If you remember, the media was like, when Robert Hur was selected, and this is why I was scared when the special prosecutor was selected for this case, the media was like, we think Robert Hur is the greatest thing since sliced bread. We think Robert Hur is going to do a good job. We think Robert Hur, and they praised Robert Hur. And now that he brought out his report, and it does not look good for the Biden family or the Biden team, the Biden campaign, now they want to accuse him of being a MAGA person. Why was he all good when he was selected, but now he's all bad? Because they thought Robert Hur was going to go ahead and, the president's fit. The president didn't do nothing wrong. Because you got to realize, he was investigating the same thing Jack Smith was investigating. So why did Jack Smith feel it was okay to indict Donald Trump on charges of holding classified documents, and Robert Hur did? And it was almost basically the same case. And I know people in the chat, I know people going to watch this video later on and say, listen to the audio and say, well, no, it was not the same case. Really? A former president or a former White House official. Let's use that, because President Joe Biden was Vice President Biden at the time. President Trump was president. So let's use a White House official or a White House leader took documents home when they were supposed to be classified and stay at the office. If you round it up, it's the same thing. Now, but they're trying to, this is two totally different things. But then that's why they were praising Robert Hur. They thought Robert Hur was going to give the president a freebie, and he didn't. Now, to wrap up this, and like I said, there was a lot more. The Democrats trying to say that Robert Hur was using the president's memory when it's clearly that he remembers everything, and it was Robert Hur defended himself, but again, he was trying to defend himself. Democrats cut him off. Like I said, this aggravates me. I'm trying to find where his response was. And I have it right here, but I can't find it. But Robert Hur also defended himself against Jim Jordan when asked about the double standard. If you had some facts and the individual that you're investigating was 65 and had a good memory, do you reach the same conclusion? Republican Ohio Rep. Jim Jordan asks Hur, Congressman, as I responded earlier with these lines, I'm not here to entertain hypotheticals about facts or circumstance that may be different. Her response: the special counsel stuck to his report for the entirety of the hearing, as he pledged to do repeatedly refused to draw a comparison to the Trump case. They're both different. And like I said, they're not different, but they are different. Okay, you have one that's indicted, one isn't. And also, Robert Hur don't know what's going on with the Trump investigation. As Jack Smith shouldn't know what's going on in the Trump case. To wrap it up, though, look, this hearing, what did it accomplish? Well, I think this was the committee that is pushing the Biden impeachment. And did this, we're talking about it, but did this change the course of history? No, it didn't. Okay, no, it didn't, because the Democrat Party is going to defend Joe Biden tooth and nail. Okay, they're not going to go ahead and say Joe Biden did something wrong. On the other side, the Republicans, they're already going to impeach Joe Biden. This is just a formality that they're doing. Okay, and look, should it have been on it? Yeah, because it did say a few things. One, the president did lie, because the president said, well, I didn't do nothing wrong. I had a good memory. I had all this stuff. And the transcript shows differently. And it also showed, and I'm trying to remember, where is it at on this article? Oh, man, I'm trying to find it. There was something, I had a brain fart this morning. Excuse me. Oh, man, it just, they had a lot of stuff that went on yesterday, and I'm trying to remember all of it in the short amount of time I have with y'all guys this morning. But the double standards, the double standards are correct. There is double standards in this stuff, according to a comment on the TikTok Live. So again, did this change waves? No, because the Republicans are going to impeach Joe Biden, or try to impeach Joe Biden in Congress, and that depends on if we have any more GOP reps that are going to be there at the end of the year, because Ken Buck said he's leaving at the end of the year. So that Congress, poor Mike Johnson has he's going through hell right now, I promise you. But again, the Democrat Party is going to fight tooth and nail to say, look, Biden didn't do nothing wrong, when there was stuff that happened, but the Democrat Party wants to stick by their man, and they're going to do that. The Republican Party, no, this didn't change no ways. There is not, the Republicans are going to change their mind. Biden can come out as clean as a whistle. They're still going to go after Joe Biden. Okay? This is why I think they need to go ahead and focus on his record. Joe Biden can't run on his record. And Republicans know that, but Republicans are going to push impeachment stuff. Look, I'm for impeachment. I think Biden did do something wrong. That's my opinion. That's not fact. Okay? A man is innocent until proven guilty. The Constitution works both ways for Democrats and Republicans. And he has not been convicted. He has not been charged. You have President Trump that's been charged, but he hasn't gone to trial yet. So he's innocent until proven guilty. And he's in the court cases that he has been found liable and all that stuff. He's not been convicted. He's just been found liable, and these are all in appeals. But you're innocent until proven guilty. And ladies and gentlemen, this is why I think, look, go the impeachment process if they want to. I don't have no friends in Congress. I met Clay Higgins one time. So, hey, they can go do, that's their constitutional right as Congress to do that. But they need to do what Trump's doing. Focus on Joe Biden's policies. Focus on the things that don't make Biden look good, and work with that. We have to win the presidency, because I doubt that this is going to go through. The impeachment is not going to go through before the election. And it just goes, like I said, this hearing did not change the minds of anybody. People that are going to support Biden are still going to vote for Biden. The people that are still going to support Trump, they're going to vote for Trump. This wasn't a groundbreaker thing, but it happened yesterday. There was a lot of fireworks, and I thought it'd be fun to talk about. With that being said, that's going to wrap up this episode of the Cajun Conservative Show. I love you guys. Remember to go check out Give-A-Derm. Go check out HairClub. Their links are at the bottom of the description of this video, except for TikTok. If you want to go check out this type of Give-A-Derm or HairClub and use the promo code BJSmedia10. HairClub is a great hair company here in Louisiana. They not Louisiana, in the United States. Excuse me. They're a great company here in America. If you have problems with your hair loss, go ahead and check them out. HairClub.com. You also go check out Give-A-Derm. Give-A-Derm is a great dermatology company, all natural products. It works. We use it. Go ahead and check them out. Love the company. So until next time, be blessed, be encouraged. Remember, Jesus Christ is King. He's coming back, and he's coming back soon. So don't be faint of heart. Jesus has overcome the world. If you want to know Jesus, your Lord and Savior, reach out to me. I'll tell you how to make Jesus your Savior and heaven your home. We will be with you next time on the Cajun Conservative Show. Be blessed.